Hi there everybody, it's Chocolate Milk, and I'd like to welcome you back to Lost Odyssey. We are with Team Seth, and we are just making our way through the Orin sewers. We did a little bit of this last video, but we're going to continue on now, and we're coming to this stupid puzzle. Now when you get here, you don't want to move any of the switches around, but I've done so just to show you what they do. Of course, if you press the red button, it'll move the switches up and down. But you want to leave the left and the right gate down and leave the middle gate up. If I come down to the middle staircase here, or this ladder, I'm just going to show you something. There's a glowing item on the ground, which we can't get because we have to actually manipulate the water, which is where the gates are going to come in. And I must have cut out 10 minutes of video time, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say that, of me trying to get that treasure because I couldn't figure out the order of the gates. So this video has a lot of cutting, and I've tried to put it together the best that I could so that it looks very clear to you guys as to what I did. So I'm going to try to put something better in the video description when this video is done. So like I said, you want to start out with both the left and the right gate down and the middle gate up. Then what you're going to want to do before you move any of the water, before you move the right gate, is you're going to want to come down this first, well, the ladder that's on the right hand side here, because there's actually an item that you can pick up that's on the ground that you don't have to have any water for. And that's got goddess medicine in it. So we picked up the chest for this area, and we've picked up that glowing item on the ground. But now we need to figure out how to get that stupid item that is in the middle gate that we need to pick up. So once you've got those two treasures, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to rise up the right-hand gate. And what this will do is it will make the water flow. As you can see, it filled up. So you have the right gate up, the middle gate up, and then you're going to want to rise the left-hand gate up. And what this will do is it will cause the water to go all the way through, right to the very, very end of the left-hand gate. When that's done and you have all three gates up, you're going to go to the middle gate and bring it down so that you have water trapped in between the left and the right gates. So there's still water, but there's not going to be any water anymore when you close this gate. What that'll do is it'll create a barrier so that water can't escape. Lower the right-hand gate to keep that water trapped in between the middle and the right-hand gate. And then, finally, to complete this puzzle, you're going to want to rise the middle gate up. It'll drain the water from the right-hand side into the middle, and the left-hand gate will stop the water from leaving because it's trapped, it's closed. So it will keep the water nicely enclosed in the middle, and that took me so freaking long to figure out. And I'll bet you anything, I'm going to go back and watch this video, and my description that I just said is going to make no sense. I apologize for that. I'm going to try to put a really good, detailed thing in the video description when this is done, because it was a mess for me, absolute mess. I'm not good with puzzles at all. And thank God that's done. We don't have to come back to that ever again. And it'll actually take you to the back alley after that. We're kind of out of the sewers for a little bit. And we get a change of scenery, although arguably it's not, you know, that much nicer. Start by going to the left side of this place to collect all the treasures before you move on to the right. The right-hand side will let you continue onwards with the story to advance on to the next area from here. And just like every other area of this game, there's a lot of crap to collect. I think there's a poster down here, but I keep looking for a pot or a can to kick over. And for some reason, I just never see the posters. And I bet you I've missed so many posters in this game, it's probably ridiculous. When you're done looting the left-hand side, come over to the right, but don't take the left fork. Just keep continuing straight forward. Just don't look back. And come up on the ladder. And the reason you're going to want to do this is because there's items up here to collect, and this alley will loop around. Basically, you can go in one big circle in this area. I wouldn't say it's easy to get lost, but it's easy to kind of lose track of where you've been in terms of treasure. So if you've collected the things on the top, you know you've collected them and you don't have to go back. And then when you come on the other side of the ladder, you'll go south because there's more crap to collect. I think there's more posters down here. And then, as you can see, it kind of, like I said, it circles around. This is where we started out, where I told you, do not go left, because there's our ladder. I almost missed that poster. God damn it. What did I just say about those stupid posters? Some days, you know, I'm really observant, and other days I am just not observant at all. And it is just awful. Luckily for me, I've played this game about 50 gazillion times. Well, that's exaggerating, but I have played this game at least 5 times. So I pretty much know most of the areas in this game like the back of my hand, fortunately. I think that's it for this alley, as a matter of fact. I think we can go and try to find a ladder out of this place to continue on. Which was back here? Yeah, it was right there. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward area. It's kind of hard, I find it hard to talk about this area because, like, what is there to talk about? You know, we're going up a ladder, down a ladder, through an alley, through a sewer, through some water, up a ladder, down a ladder, and it's just all the same stuff. But I guess it makes sense because we're supposed to be sneaking around the city, and we are sneaking all right. We've been keeping out of the line of sight for sure, being on the rooftops and in the alley and everything like that. So in that aspect it makes sense, but it's kind of boring if you're trying to talk about it. But this next part is rather important, so come down to the first ladder on the right, because there's 2 ladders on the right. The other one advances on, and you want to come down here because there's this yellow seal that we've seen several times in the game so far. So go up to it and press A, and you'll see that Tolton will say that it's an Oran family crest. Now we need Tolton to break all of these seals, and now that we have him in our party, we can break all of these seals. They give us some really, really nice treasure. They're mostly weapons and accessories for Tolton, but they are awesome and they're really helpful. I'm going to be doing a separate video on how to find them. We've seen them in the Crimson Forest and the Ice Canyon, but there's a few more to collect. I recommend putting that sword on him right away. That is a sexy attack power. That's like 87 attack power, which is huge for Tolton. This area really, you know, it really isn't difficult. The game is pretty gracious on giving you a break with the enemies and not making it super difficult, but everything helps, quite honestly. It'll make the battle go by faster. So once you have that, that's pretty much it for this rooftop. We're gonna go back down just on the other side of the alley that we were just in, but you don't want to miss that seal, because it will introduce you to the rest of the seals, and then it'll make sense, like, oh, okay, and then you'll know where to go the next time you see one. And I think this is actually the final leg of this alley as well, and we can actually continue on in the game. Yes, it is. We're coming out to the station square, and we're in the city now, which it was my understanding we were supposed to be keeping out of the city, but whatever. The guards don't seem to mind too much. And we actually get a cutscene, which we haven't seen a cutscene in a really long time, as a matter of fact, which is kind of weird. Well, also Odyssey has cutscenes coming out the ass, but that one's kind of a really small one. After you've seen that Gungor is here, obviously, where else would he be? I recommend saving, just because you don't want to go through the sewers again. And I think it's just those chests to collect. I don't think there's anything else here, but I had to double check to make sure, because I'm anal like that. So, save, collect the treasure chests, and then you can continue on to the next screen where we'll actually get some more dialogue and some more scenes and stuff. All that fun jazz. Now we're in the front gate, which is where Gongora's podium is, where when we controlled him in the game, we brought him up to the stand and he did the speech for the people of the city. So we're pretty much in the heart of Ura right now. And what the fuck is that? This scene kind of creeps me out because it does not make any sense. Although I guess with magic in their world it will make sense, but they're just like floating this blood like just in mid-air, and then they're like throwing it into his mouth, which is disgusting. Drinking a other person's blood is not a good idea. That is a great way to get HIV or herpes or any other blood disease that you can get. Hepatitis. Oh, Lord. That's not safe, Gongora, although since it's you, I don't think we care. Ugh, yeah, that is disgusting. And that is a lot of blood. God, he must be thirsty. That just never ends. That's just like a never-ending pool of blood. But I guess if there's been 144... Or no, what am I talking about? There's been 44 previous kings of Ura. I think Tolton was the 45th. That's like 45 people's blood that he had to drink, which is disgusting, but... This means that Gongora is officially king of Ura. The beginning of the reign of Lord Eyebrows has began for the poor people of Ura who have no idea what is about to happen, because they may be the only place on the planet that's not screwed up right now, but they will soon see a new wrath. That's just... Nobody could foresee what an evil ruler Gongora really is.
Certainly not. All right then.
I'm so glad that Seth makes Tolton not a pansy, like she toughens him up. I love that, because Tolton is seriously just... he is such a pansy. Oh god, what's going on? Oh, it's Seth's son. Aw. That really doesn't look good for Seth. In the next video, we're going to find out exactly what it is that's going to happen to Seth, and where we're going to end up with Seth and Tolton. So I thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that you will join me in the next video of Lost Odyssey, and I will see you then.